Hi, I'm Erin Tessier. I also go by Erosion. I've lived here in Hamilton for 6 years. Before that, I lived all over kind of Niagara area and KW since '99. I have a modest hairdressing business doing extensions, primarily braid and dread extensions. I also do micro and nano bead human hair extensions. What got me into the punk scene? Okay, I got a pretty adorable little story about my older sister. She's like roughly maybe 11, 12 years older than me. And I probably was like maybe 5, maybe a little younger. And this is back like in the late 80s, early 90s. And she came to live with my mother and my brothers and I. And she was in the basement with a bunch of her friends in the rec room, listening to music. I can't recollect what she was listening to, obviously something punk. And I remember I was supposed to be in bed, and I snuck down there, hung out, laying on the floor like a little plank behind the sectional couch, listening to them talk and them have drinks and listening to music, and just been obsessed and idolized my sister for so long, and that's kind of carried on into adulthood. So if my sister watching this, you better feel like you're a lucky son of a bitch. But yeah, it's kind of left a everlasting impression on me. So yeah, that's it. So my main influences growing up, personal and musical. Obviously, I already said my sister had a big impact on me. Musical wise, the ladies from such bands as Plasmastics, X-Ray Specs, Vice Squad, they're all very strong women, gorgeous women. They didn't use their looks per se to get what they wanted. They had an ideology. They had something to say. So I took a lot from them, style-wise, obviously, empowering-wise. They were like great women to look up to, and they've really left an impact on me going forward from when I was younger. Okay, so first concert and first punk show I ever attended. So first concert, not as cool as some people's. I lived in Niagara Falls most of my young life. So anybody that's ever been there on New Year's knows they have like a free concert and fireworks, lights shining on the falls. Philosopher Kings were playing. I went with my mom, my dad, and my siblings. Not as cool as some people's first concert, but it is what it is. And first punk show, we used to drink a lot, a bunch of us in the alleyways. I can't tell you for the life of me who was playing at a couple of the first shows I ever went to. The Rotten probably was playing since they're from that area. Hi, Jan. But yeah, that's about it. Wish I could tell you more. Okay, so my favorite shows. I have a few for all different reasons. I saw Bauhaus back before I was a mother. And I went with somebody randomly because I had an extra ticket, and a friend of mine suggested I take her ex-boyfriend. It was amazing. He offered me a pill of eat. Like I said, this is before I was a parent. So it made it like a mesmerizing show. Turns out that guy, a few years later, was charged and nicknamed by the media for a murder, and he was nicknamed the Christmas card killer. Strangest thing that ever happened to me, pretty much. Next show, seeing Forgotten Rebels. I can't remember if it was in Brantford or Burlington. I was very drunk. Mickey wanted me to sing on stage with him. Got up on stage drunk and just wandered around filming it instead of singing. Then they played again in Waterloo at the Chainsaw. Finally got to sing on stage with him, so redeemed myself. And then a house party I went to it was like an older house in Waterloo. Don't know the bands that were playing. I was brought there, but the whole place was just like, felt like I was in a trampoline. I thought I was gonna fall through the floor. So just the vibe of the place was just spectacular. But like I said, I can't remember who was playing for the life of me. But yeah, that's it. Okay. Being a chick in the scene, I came into the scene in mainly, we'll say, like early 2000s, mid 2000s, and there wasn't so much of like a difference between being a chick and being a dude then, far as I could tell. I know from seeing interviews like from before I was in the scene in the 90s, yeah, there was a big movement going on to have more of a place being a girl. But for me, there wasn't. If I went to other genre shows, like, yeah, sometimes you get assaulted. But I never had that within the punk scene. It was very respectful. When you see like a mainly primarily girl-female band, you didn't go, oh, that's a chick band. It wasn't like that. But I can see how it would be for people that came before me. Just for me, it wasn't like that. The craziest thing that ever happened to me at a show. Really, not too much crazy stuff happened, or if it did, I didn't remember it. But like I said, that one house party where it felt like the floor was going to give in, at that point in time, I'd never been to a show like that before, and I felt like literally like a trampoline. Recently, I went to a hardcore show at an indoor skate park, and this guy is like crawling across the top rails, like what was it, the beams, the ceiling beams, and some other guy went by and yanked him on the foot, and he came down so hard. I was like probably like 6.5, 7 feet, right on his elbow. Like everybody just stopped and stared at him. It was that hard of a landing. I think that's the craziest thing I've ever witnessed at a show. Really not very entertaining, but... So with my business, Descension, Extension, it started not officially back when my daughter was born. I just needed some extra money, and I'd make dreads for like acquaintances, friends, whoever asked, because I do them for myself. But it wasn't called anything back then. I just did it as a little side hustle. And then, I worked for multiple different jobs for a while. I had a career as a cook and a baker for a long time until it wasn't working for me. My daughter's severely autistic, and it's hard to put her in something to be taken care of. She falls between the cracks a lot, being an older child with autism. When you're younger, there's so many more things available. And now she's 13. She does have violent fits sometimes, stuff like that. And I enjoy the world out of her, but it makes working in a kitchen or working for somebody else very difficult. This affords me to be there for my child 100%. I make my own hours. I can take as many breaks as I want. I can cater my life and my business and my work around her. And that's important, having a really good home family work balance for me. So that's what Descension, Extension really means to me. It's finding a balance between who you are individually and who you are professionally and or as a parent. And how long have I been doing it for? Unofficially for 13 years, officially as Descension Extension for maybe like almost 6 years, just under 6 years. Okay, so most useless talent. That is a loaded statement. What classifies something as useless when it's a talent of yours? I just think it's you haven't found a way of utilizing that to earn something for yourself, whether it's just feeling good or money or support your community, something like that. Everything has a use, depending on what that use is if it's tangible or is it just supportive emotionally or mentally. If I had to pick something, it would be my interest in foraging of wild herbs for medicinal, edible, or even mushrooms. I've learned that in the last few years, and it's fun. I find it very therapeutic, so it's beneficial that way. But really, to anybody else, like Erin, just go to a fucking grocery store. But if there was ever a shutdown of our basic way of life, there was apocalypse per se, or zombies and all that, you might want me in your corner. I might be useful, but that's about it. Okay, favorite food. Anything with cheese. Anything. Like tacos, burritos, cheesy pizza, pasta. It's like the glue that holds my life together. Just anything. Late night, especially since I don't eat a lot of carbs during the week, just like bust out some cheese and just like, yeah, just cheese, man. Just cheese. Cheese anything. Yeah, that's it. Just cheese. Just cheesy. It's cheese.